The Detroit Lions got their playoff game, but they host the LA Rams and Matthew Stafford for the wild card round on Sunday Night Football. I feel like it's the most Lions thing ever that we have to play our old franchise quarterback in the playoffs, and it's only our third playoff game in the last 10 years. And not to mention, we haven't won a playoff game in over 30. I'm not too mad, or I'm not even mad about it. I'm not upset about it. I just think it's of course this would be the scenario the Lions get. And of course, the Cowboys won the division and the Packers found a way to make the playoffs, but we won't get into that now. Save that for another video. Fuck the Packers. So the game Saturday night at Ford Field, and my prediction is that the Lions will win their first playoff game in over 30 years. Now, I'm not discounting the Rams at all. I think there is a chance that they could win, and I think the game's going to be very close. But I think the Lions, come on, there's no way they lose this, right? They want this so bad. They have the grit of MCDC. They have a top 5 offense, top 2 run defense. The only thing that's really lacking is their secondary. You could also say that the Lions pass rush is lacking a little bit. They get pressure sometimes, but they've struggled this season taking the quarterback down. However, in the past 3 games, we've seen the emergence of the Hutch we all know and love from last season, and the defensive line seems to be playing a bit better. Overall, I think this game is going to be high scoring. The Lions offense is very explosive. The Rams defense it has its moments, but we've had a pretty good look at 17 games from every team this season, and the Rams rank 20th points per game allowed and 20th in yards per game and passing yards per game allowed. They're a bit higher on rushing yards per game allowed, but overall they're a below average defense. You never know what team's going to show up, but I feel like we have a pretty good estimate on how the Rams defense has played throughout the season. I also think it's going to be high scoring because it's Matthew Stafford throwing to Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua against the Detroit Lions secondary. It is really nice to have Gardner Johnson back, and Joseph's been playing well, Sutton's been playing well, Branch has been playing really well. Even though he's injured, I don't think that's going to matter too much. Branch came back in the game week 18, and he hits like he has no regard for his own life, so I think he'll be fine. But the Lions just got torched by Justin Jefferson and CeeDee Lamb. It was Nick Mullins throwing to Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson's amazing, but still, he had way over 100 yards. And I think the Lions secondary and defense is going to play a little bit better than you may think because of the environment. But I think Puka and Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp will still be able to torch the Lions and score fast. The other huge factor is Kyren Williams, who's been on an absolute tear recently. Over 100 yards in 3 of the last 7 games, at least over 80 in all the past 7 games. Now the Lions have the second best rush defense in the NFL. They're second in rushing yards per game allowed, and over the past 3 games they haven't given up barely any. They gave over 89 total rushing yards to the Vikings last week, 61 to the Cowboys, 17 week 16 to the Vikings, and then 83 total rushing yards against the Broncos. The line for Kyren Williams is 87.5 total rushing yards. I'd be surprised if he gets over that. What makes this game any different from all the past games? The Lions have played good running backs, and they have still remained dominant. The Lions haven't given up 87 yards to a running back all season. I believe the last time they did it was last year against the Panthers. The only person that's gotten over 87 rushing yards in a game against the Lions is Justin Fields. And to me, that's going to be one of the biggest differences. Is the Lions run game I think will be strong, especially with David Montgomery up the middle battling for yards. I think the Lions will be able to shut down or partially shut down Kyren Williams and not let him be a huge game-changing factor. I still believe it'll be a high-scoring game. Looking at the line, it's 51.5, so it can't be 27-24, which is an extremely common score. I still think it's going to be over though, because when the Lions go up against either a strong quarterback, strong wide receiver crew, or both, we give up a ton of yards and points. Both times playing the Vikings, the Ravens with Lamar, Justin Herbert and the Chargers, Prescott and CD. However, pretty much 92 of their 323 yards were just off of one botched play. And then when we play Jordan Love and Geno Smith, they're getting a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns, high scoring games. I think that's going to be the same. It's going to be over 51.5 total points scored in this game. I'm really excited for this game. I'm also really nervous. If the Lions lose, I'm going to be devastated. This team is just, I don't even know what I'd do if they lost this game. I think the edge is also going to be in Detroit's favor with the home crowd. They are going to be so loud. You already know the Rams are going to be struggling in the huddle. And overall, I think the Lions are going to go in there whining it more. You look at how the Lions played in their last 2 big games. Honestly, last 3 big games. The first one being Week 18 Packers at Lambeau Field last season against Rodgers. The second one being Week 1 against KC. And the most recent one, Week 17 against the Cowboys, Saturday Night Football. Those 3 games, the Lions team was electric. Another thing I am worried about is Laporta and Raymond being out. We saw them both get injured in Week 18. There's a lot of people on Twitter that were hating on Campbell's decision to play when the Lions had like a very slim chance of getting the 2 seed only if the Cowboys and Eagles both lost, which wasn't very likely. I understand keeping the starters in. There's still something to play for. I feel like keeping them out would be against Dan Campbell's philosophy and that locker room culture. Even if there's not very much to play for, like last season, there's nothing to play for them. They're still going to go out and give it their all. And if no one got injured, I doubt anyone would be saying that. I mean, obviously, hindsight is 2020. It's just unlucky, I think. With Laporta being out, if he does play, I think he'll be limited. And I really am hoping, and I think that this will happen, that St. Brown is going to get the ball a ton. Over 100 yards, over 8 receptions. I think St. Brown is going to have a day because we're not going to want to take risks. We're going to want to feed it to our best man. That's St. Brown. Goff has the best relationship with St. Brown. That's the best duo on the Lions team with Goff passing. It's a huge game. We can't take risks. Let's give it to our best player. We've seen that's what the Cowboys have been doing with CeeDee Lamb over the past few weeks. That's what the Steelers have with George Pickens. When they throw it to him, they win games. I want the Lions to run it strong on the ground with Montgomery. I want the Lions to feed St. Brown the ball and have smart play calling. A little bit aggressive, but not too aggressive. I want them to be a little conservative. Also, it's Badgley now, not Patterson. Badgley cannot miss kicks. We cannot miss, especially any extra points. That's going to be huge. The Lions cannot have errors like those on Sunday night. Overall, I think the Lions win this game. I think our defense is going to play strong, play hard. Our defensive line is going to be very good. Hopefully take down Stafford. Hopefully stop the run. Additionally, I think our offense is going to be out there playing strong, playing hard. Hopefully we can be very explosive. I'd like to see Jahmyr Gibbs has some huge runs, Monty with some huge runs. I'm really excited and nervous for this game. I don't know what I'm going to do. Either way, I'm either going to be crying or jumping off the walls. Let me know what you guys think about this game in the comment section below. If you guys enjoy my content, I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Once again, as always, thanks for watching.